Well, welcome to an autumnal Solent, just off Lymington, and to the Yachting Monthly's test of the Malo 37. So up at the bow, may look like a very small bow roller, it's actually a snubber roller, because the anchor roller itself is fitted in the stem. So the shank's held in place by that pin. Just remove that, launch the anchor, and the windlass runs everything else. Very deep chain locker. This here is a stay for, there's an inner stay, a baby stay, so you can put a staysail on that. And the stay itself fastens very neatly back there. So moving aft, we've got these great Teak Cap Bulwarks here, really safe. Nice flush finish on the stanchions there. Good grab rails running all the way aft. This is nice, something else you rarely see. Somewhere to put your halyards when you're not using them. Nice touch. So all the lines ducked aft here, past these flush hatches. The walk-through is great because you've got two sets of lowers and the shrouds, but they're both inboard, so walking through is easy. Got this Genoa track here. This one's got the 108% jib, which is quite high cut. So you've got longer track so that when you reef the jib, you can still trim it properly. But the other option is 135% Genoa, hence the length of the track. Really nice scuppers here, bronze scuppers, and very wide gates. So when you're loading bags and you have to hoik them over the lifelines, this is kind of what you need. Here you've got Anderson 46 and a 28. The 46 is for the jib, that's the jib sheet, it's the primary. The 28 could be a bit bigger, I think, because this handles all the other lines, so everything is ducted after here. You've got the Genoa halyard, staysail halyard and topping lift at the mast. Everything else comes back to these winches here. It's a very tidy arrangement. You can reach both winches from the wheel. It's really good for short handling. In here, this huge lazarette, rubber sealed and gas struts. So there's tons of stowage there. Got your double gas locker over there, manual bilge pump there. The rest of the cockpit storage is another huge locker, this time in here. Very nice little custom washboard stowage there. You've also got access to the battery charger, the isolation transformer, fuse panel, and under there you've got the Eberspacher heater, and back there you've got the Raymarine autopilot. So this is the arch, something of Malo trademark. This one's just got the main sheet here, there's no traveller. It's very good for, this is the cockpit tent here, and it all stows very neatly up against here. And the rest of the cockpit tent is stowed up there at the moment. But yes, a trademark. They used to rig forward, now they rig slightly out. So coming below, there's plenty of grab rails, very elegantly worked into the woodwork here. Another one there. So chart table, excellent size, goes all the way under here, so tons of room for your charts. Your stowage under there, plenty of instrument space here. Got a chart light, but it's only white, so there's no red. I'm sure that could be fixed. Switch panel there. There's some stowage under here. There's a bit more below there, and some drawers forward. Onto the galley. Really good splashback here. Very deep sinks as well, 8 inches deep. Got the fridge over here. It's not the biggest, certainly, but it's well insulated. Nice isotherm job. Lockers out here with nice fiddles too, and pegs down here so you don't lose everything. You've got ventilation here. You've got Dorade vent here too. Up and over cover, which wins you a little more workspace when you're not using the stove. Nice little space here for all your condiments, and so on and so forth. Drawers and a locker here. Nice pot locker under the stove, and shelves, the bin and the seacock access down there. Into the heads, nice white space, easy to maintain. Got some stowage out here, some stowage and seacocks access in there. More stowage in here. And this was an option the owner wanted. This goes through into the cockpit locker, so you can get better access to your battery charger. And there's also a rail in there, or there will be a rail in there, as a wet locker, so you can hang your oilies up and they just drain into the bilge. LED lighting throughout this boat, which is quite something because Malo is quite a traditional builder, so to see them go for LEDs is something of a revelation. Separate shower there and an opening hatch so you can let it all out. So there's the aft cabin in the port quarter. So only got the one opening hatch, this one into the cockpit. I think I might like one here under the spray hood, just to get a bit more light in and some ventilation you can use at sea. Just a port light there for more light. Hanging locker there. There's lockers also down the side of the berth. You've got your domestic bank and your engine battery are under here. Got the switches down here. Under this side is a lovely panel on a gas strut which opens to reveal the aqua drive coupling for the shaft drive. Back of the engine, you've also got the muffler under there. There's the shower and bilge pump, and there's the water pump and the calorifier back there. Very good maintenance access. So there's the saloon, fabulously bright. They got two big hatches here and these bigger port lights, lovely stainless steel finish around there. Bigger than they used to have, which is why there's more light in here. You've also got the LEDs at night, which are dimmable, rather lovely. Woodwork is sensational throughout, and you've got this fabulous sweep here with this fiddle enclosing a shelf. Usually you get the same on the other side, but they, the owner wanted a seabed instead. So with this one, you can just flip up the back there, got a string to hold it in place, and there's your big berth as well as the telly. Another lovely idea. You know, you're usually fumbling around on the cushions trying to get the bunk boards off to get at the stowage below. This one, they've just got a forward hinge here, so you just lift the seat and you're straight in. Very nice. Got a water tank under there, there's some more stowage there. This table extends, you can drop another leaf in there, and you know, you can seat easy 6 there. There's some stowage under this bunk, accessible either under here or through there. Lee cloths on both berths, you can do the same thing on the other side, and there are the hooks for the lee cloths. So there's the forward cabin, decent headroom, especially under the fore hatch here. Got two coach roof lights here that don't open. I think one day we're going to see hull ports here, just to kind of brighten up this area, because it's swathed of this fabulous mahogany, but it does darken it up quite a lot. Got a big hanging locker here with these nice latches which kind of, so if you're in port you can just close it and it stays closed, or you can just lock it and it stays shut. So that's the hanging locker. There's some stowage under this seat here, two shelved lockers here, and all the space under there is a bow thruster forward, but the rest of the space is accessible through two doors in the bulkhead here. Only one slight issue we noticed was, you know, if you're not as trim and fit as me, you might have a job closing the door. The feel of the wheel is very good. It's Jeffer steering, which is always a good sign. We were using a bit too much of it to start with. You can see on the autopilot here how much helm you're using. Well, we did have a bit too much, but as soon as we just ease the main, it's backwinding most of the time, but perfectly comfortable. As soon as we figured that out, she's a joy. There's a nice feel to it, you know. It's not too light, not too heavy. We've balanced it very well. The cockpit layout, we've been, you know, throwing in tacks and jives and all sorts of things, and it's just so easy to shorthand. You've got the primaries here for the jib sheets, secondaries for the main sheet, and they're both within reach of the wheel. You could realistically, you know, if you were in no tearing rush for anything, you could realistically do this yourself, no problem at all. And the forward part of the cockpit is completely free of lines. There are no halyard winches there because everything comes back to these banks of cleats, clutches in front of the winches here. So there's nothing to do there apart from stay dry under the huge spray hood. You've got the main sheet on the arch there, so that's not in the way either. It's really well laid out for short-handed, comfortable cruising. So it's from Malo. They're a small Swedish yard, excellent quality throughout. They live up to the Swedish reputation for quality boats. Semi-custom as well. As I pointed out several things on this boat which are not standard, that the owner said, can you do this? And they said, yeah, sure. You come up with a list of requirements and they'll do their best to meet them. So let's look at the numbers to start with. We had a 4 to 5 today. It's picked up, it's probably a 7 now. But while we were out there, she's not desperately close-winded, because obviously she's sheeted outside the shrouds, even though those are inboard. Made it to about sort of 35, 40 degrees apparent was where she was most comfortable. But an apparent wind speed of 15 to 18 knots, we were getting about 5.7 to 6.3. So no slouch, but I was just expecting a bit more from what is quite a powerful 37 footer. We did notice later when we looked at the pictures that there's quite a lot of growth on it, which might have slowed it down. But to dawdle to tack, 2 people can do it, 1 person can do it. It's a very short-handed boat. Coming down onto a fetch, about 60 degrees apparent with 14 to 18 knots of apparent wind across the deck, about 5.7 to 6.2, so again hovering around the 6 knots. Coming down to a beam reach with about 11 to 13 knots apparent, 5.5 to 5.9, so just nudging under 6 knots, and then on a deeper reach about 120 with about 11 to 13 degrees of apparent wind, about 4.8 to 5.3. It'll be nice to know what I should have done without all that growth. But again, it's not a boat built for speed, it's a boat with lots of storage, it's fully kitted up. The owners lent us the boat for the day. You'll also notice that the bows are very full, you know, it's not built for speed, it's built for comfort, as they say. So who's going to suit her? A couple would be fine. A couple with friends, I guess, because you've got the extra cabin there. You'll have some money. This one in particular was 320,000, including VAT for all the various bits. The base boat is about 300, including VAT, £1,000. But yeah, you'll be into some kind of northern latitude stuff. If you're looking at Mediterranean, there are probably boats better suited for it. So northern latitudes, kind of Scotland, Baltic, that sort of thing. Absolutely perfect for that. A dawdle to sail, very well behaved. That's the kind of boat she is.